Hi, welcome to TCM Sunday School. It's great to see you again. Now, Milo has been away for the week and he's been having loads of fun, but he's due home any time now, so hopefully you'll get to see him. But I've really missed Milo. He's become a really good friend and he's been so helpful in our Sunday school sessions. And I just thought, because he's been so helpful and he's been a good friend, that I would give him a little present. So he loves playing with his train tracks, so I've bought him a new train and a little carriage to go with the train, and he can put that into his train set. He's going to love it. Now, treating your friends, treating them to little gifts and treating them well is really important. It's what we do as friends. Now, maybe at school you've made some new friends, or maybe you've got some friends that you've had for years and you can't imagine not being their friend. Jesus in the Bible, he had 12 very special friends. We call them the disciples. And in that group of 12, Jesus had 3 that he was particularly close to. You know, maybe in your classroom you get on with everybody and you consider them to be your friends, but there's probably 1 or 2 or maybe 3 that you really get on well with. They're the ones that you look for when you first arrive at school. They're the ones that come over to your house and you have tea and you play games together. They're the ones that you share your secrets with. Having friends is so important, and Jesus knew that. And he had one friend in particular that I want to tell you about today, and his name was Peter. Now, Jesus loved Peter, and Peter loved Jesus. In fact, Peter loved Jesus so much that one night when they were eating their supper together, he told Jesus that he would die for him, he would do anything for him. But that night, Jesus said, "Peter, you're going to tell people 3 times that you don't know me." Well, Peter didn't know what to say. He couldn't believe that he would ever think that. We're going to pick up the story in the Bible to find out what happened with this friendship. They seized Jesus and they led him away and brought him into the high priest's house. Meanwhile, Peter was following at a distance. They lit a fire in the middle of the courtyard and sat down together, and Peter sat among them. When a servant saw him sitting in the light and looked closely at him, she said, "This man was with Jesus too." But Peter denied it. "Woman, I don't know him." After a little while, someone else saw him and said, "You're one of them too." "Man, I am not," said Peter. About an hour later, another kept insisting, "This man was certainly with Jesus, since he's also a Galilean." But Peter said, "Man, I don't know what you're talking about." Immediately, while he was still speaking, a rooster crowed, and then the Lord turned and looked at Peter. So Peter remembered the word of the Lord and how he had said to him, "Before the rooster crows today, you will deny me 3 times." And he went outside and wept bitterly. Peter felt awful. He had done something to his friend that he never thought that he would do. Let's find out how Jesus responded. We know that Jesus died. We know that he rose again on the 3rd day. And after that, he went to the beach and he saw Peter and they had breakfast together. When they had eaten breakfast, Jesus asked Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," he said to him, "you know that I love you." "Feed my lambs," he told him. A second time he asked him, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Yes, Lord, he said to him, you know that I love you. Shepherd my sheep, he told him. He asked him the third time, Simon, son of John, do you love me? Peter was grieved that he had asked him the third time, do you love me? He said, Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you. Feed my sheep, Jesus said. You know, it's a bit of a strange story, isn't it? Why would Jesus ask Peter 3 times? Well, it's because he wanted Peter to get over the awfulness of denying Jesus 3 times by saying, yes, Jesus, I love you 3 times. It was a wonderful way that Jesus said to Peter, I love you and I forgive you and I want to reinstate you. I want to make you into that relationship that we had before, being friends again. You know, we're studying the book of Proverbs, aren't we? And there's Proverbs in chapter 17, verse 17, that says, a friend loves at all times. Jesus loved Peter, even though Peter had done something so awful, and Jesus felt so sad about that. You know what? Jesus never stopped loving Peter, and he needed Peter to know that. A friend loves at all times. These are the sort of friends we need in our lives. So when we choose friends, we have to choose very carefully. We need people who are going to make us feel great, who are going to make us feel better when we're around them, that we have fun together, that we laugh together, that we can talk together. We need friends that are going to be wise, that they're going to help us make good decisions. We don't need friends in our lives that are going to help us make bad decisions that get us into trouble. We need friends that are going to point us in a good way. We need friends to be kind to us. And we need friends who are going to point us towards Jesus and not drag us away from Jesus. So yes, choose your friends carefully. And if they don't know Jesus, pray that you'll get the opportunity to tell them about Jesus. And think about what sort of friend you are. It's not always about the receiving. It's not always about what you're going to get from this friendship. We need to give too to our friends. We need to be kind and loving and pointing people to Jesus. So yes, look for good friends, but think about what sort of friend you are. And one of the best things you can do for your friends is pray for them. So I've come up with a little thing here just before Milo gets back to make something to help you remember to be able to pray for your friends. So we're going to have a go at making one of these that you can pin up, and then you can write on them different things. You could pretend that these are your 3 friends that you choose, and if maybe one of them is poorly, you could write on this person that they're feeling poorly, which will remind you to pray for them. Or maybe they're not someone who knows Jesus and you want to pray that they will come to be friends with Jesus. So maybe you could be praying for them to become a Christian. There's many things that we can be praying for our friends, and sometimes we forget to do that. So having this up on your wall would help you remember. So how do we make it? Nice and easy. You get a piece of paper and you fold it in 3. Okay, just like you would a fan, and then you draw your person on, okay? But the important thing is the people have to stay connected. So when you draw the arms on, make sure that you don't cut. You've got to cut. I'll show you. It'll be easier if I show you, okay? So let's see. We're going to cut up here, around. Okay, now it's up to you whether you do them with hair, because you're going to get to decorate them to make them look like your friends. I don't have very many orange friends, I have to say, but I didn't have any other colour paper, so we're going with orange friends. We're going to chop around and then you can colour them in to make them look like your friends. And when you've cut, you should be able to open it up, and because of the way the paper's been folded, they stay joined together. I'm sure you've made them before. It's quite straightforward, but it's a good way to think about how we can pray for our friends. Right, I'm going to go and have a little sneak out the window because I think I can hear some rummaging, so we're going to see if we can go and find Milo. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Okay, I found him. And it sounds like he's had an amazing time away, didn't you, Milo? You did all sorts of fun things. But did you miss me? Yeah? I missed you. I have to say I did miss you because, well, there was nobody here to make me laugh. Although Millie was here, she did a fairly good job. It wasn't the same, Milo, and I've just had to do most of Sunday school without you. So the kids are probably very pleased that you're here. Okay, so Milo, I bought you a present because you've been a good friend and you've helped so much over Sunday school. I bought you a present. Do you want to see what it is? Yes, okay, you're going to open it. There you go. Oh, they've seen already what it is because they know it's a train. Because it goes with your train set, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, good job. Now, I noticed that, Milo, there's a present next to you. Would that be for me? It is. Did you get it for me because I'm your friend too? Oh, I love getting presents. Okay, I'm going to open it. Is that all right? Milo, you bought me some glue. I've never had anybody buy me glue before. Oh, there's a label. He wrote a label and it says, "Let's stick together." That's what friends do, isn't it, Milo? We'll see you next time. Bye.